Shreveport City Council special meeting is now called to order February 7th, 2022. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Councilwoman Taylor.
Present.
Councilwoman Fuller. Councilman Nicholson.
Present.
Councilman Butcher. Councilman Jackson.
Here.
Councilman Green.
I'm here.
And Councilman Bowman.
Here.
The purpose of this meeting is to hear an appeal of the denial of Sonny's Liquor Store alcohol permits at 1750 Martin Luther King Drive. Do we have any requests to speak?
Yes. We have some out in the audience.
Yes. Make sure that they are in the audience first.
Can you have some that's just out in the audience that didn't have the comments cards?
Okay.
I didn't skip with any of the things. I gave them all the
Can I-
council votes.
Let me read these out, and if that particular person is out in the audience, then you're welcome to come up and speak if that makes sense. The first one I have is from State Representative Cedric Bradford Glover, and it states, "Dear Honorable Council members, the Shreveport City Council, the history of Shreveport is filled with example after example of disproportionate number of liquor stores being granted the ability to open and operate within predominantly black neighborhoods. As recent as 2016 to 2018, 2 liquor stores were allowed to open on Hearn Avenue in locations that are immediately adjacent to families raising children on the other side of 2 liquor store fences. In one instance, the previous zoning designation was the lowest level possible for a commercial operation. Both were granted drive-through window and operating hours that extend well into the early morning. The harms that an saturation of liquor stores within a neighborhood setting can cause is well established and extensively documented. That is why I'm humbly asking that each of you act today to affirm and uphold the denial of the liquor permit being sought by Sonny Liquor Store at 1750 Dr. Martin Luther King Drive. Kind regards, Cedric Bradford Glover, 4th Representative District." Is there a Antoinette Needham? State your name and 3 minutes.
My name is Antoinette Needham, and you said state my address. I would just like to say on behalf of the Davenport family and as well as the Woods family, which are the 2 families that had the family members that was deceased or killed at this location, we just ask that the license not be reissued on the behalf of the family and the community in itself. We're crying out for change, and we just do not want to see the liquor store back in operation in that community for the sake of the families and the community as well.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank
Needham.
you.
You're welcome.
I have Ms. Irma Rogers.
Good afternoon. For the record, Irma Rogers, 1920 Michoud, Shreveport, Louisiana, 71107. To Chair Mr. Green in his absence, all of the other council members, the mayor's staff. This afternoon, we come again to talk about an issue that we've talked about for more than about 12 years. Because it was about 2008, under Mayor Glover's administration, that myself and a group of ministers came to this chamber to talk about liquor licensing. It was renewal of 2 at that time, NY Quick Pack and King's Liquor. We are here again today. We've been here before on several occasions on this same address, 1750. And I believe these are copies of petition, 23 pages, over 200 signatures. These were the latest ones back in November and December when this issue came up. MLK is contiguous of 5 miles from North Market to southern to west MLK, which goes by the railroad, makes a U-turn and comes back out. Within that 5 miles, you already have 7 places for which to buy liquor. 8 if you go up Harry Huckabee. This is a copy of the draft master plan, 22, in which I served on for about 18 months, starting from 2009 to 2010. Nowhere in here did we ask for more liquor stores for Martin Luther King. Nowhere did we say, this is an opening for economic development. What we did say is that we need to shore up our small businesses. We need new grocery stores. We need other types of businesses that will help to impact growth economically within our community. Served on Mayor Perkins' Economic Development Committee. Co-chaired it. Nowhere did we say we needed more liquor stores in MLK. What we did say is we don't want it. What we did say is we don't need it. What we did say is the second largest African American community in the United States. This is not necessary. I'll name these before I run out of time, okay? You can buy beer at Brookshire's, the Chevron gas station on the corner of MLK and North Market, King's Grocery, beer, high-low, liquor and beer, Quick Pack Grocery, liquor and beer, A&Y Quick Stop, Harry Huckabee at David Raines, beer, King's Liquor, liquor and beer, that's on Harry Huckabee right at David Raines, and clothes are Lomarts and Right Way. But you go right around the corner on Harry Huckabee and you got Citgo beer. Thank you for your time. We say no.
Thank
Can
you.
I, Madam, my councilwoman,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm speaking for several people that came with me today. Can they stand?
Yes, ma'am.
Because some of them are not speaking.
I'm sorry.
All of those who came that are not speaking, they say no. Our senior citizens called in and emailed because they don't want to take the chance on the virus.
We have those emails.
Thank you.
Got it. Next I have, I don't know if she's here, Miss Katie Davenport, and she may just want it to go into record that she's against. Okay. Lyndon Johnson.
Chairman Green and the other city councilmen. Today I stand before you as the other elected official, local elected official from the MLK area, along with Councilwoman Taylor. Many of the constituents in the Cooper Road area have said no to this liquor license being renewed. I sit on the National Organization of Black County Officials, and we've studied liquor stores in the black community. And do you know that in those liquor stores that they promote, they advertise malt liquor over regular beer? And you know that malt liquor has more alcohol in it than regular beer. These liquor stores are put into the community to basically hook the people that's around those liquor stores to keep coming in, to keep buying that liquor. Also, we noticed that from across the United States that the cigarettes that they push are the menthols, which are the stronger cigarettes that you can actually buy. Those are also meant to hook the people that stay in that particular area, that keep coming in and keep buying those products. So on behalf of the citizens that I represent, along with Councilwoman Taylor, we say no.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. I have, I think the same with Pastor Timmons. Just wanted to go into record that he was against the liquor store and the license. Simmons. I'm sorry, Pastor Simmons. We have his first name. I just wanted to go into record.
I'll just call him Pastor Simmons.
Pastor Timmons. Okay.
Simmons.
Mary Kizzy. She is wanted to go on the record also against the liquor store. Miss Bertha Moore. And, okay, we're putting that into record also against the liquor store. There's a Mr. Russell who's against the liquor store also. Carol Smith. Let's put that into record that she's against the liquor store opening. Tanja Roberts.
Good evening, Council. I am Tanja Robertson. I reside at 2312 Hill Street, and I am speaking on behalf of a 26-year Navy vet who returned back to Shreveport, and namely to the Cooper Road, because I wanted to invest in my community. And just like Ms. Rogers spoke, and just like Johnson spoke, it's not a good place to come. And if you look at it with Right Way or whatever they want to name it, Right Way by any other name, it's still a liquor store. A liquor store that's not contributing to our community is actually taken away. It's not adding value. In the place where it sits, if you open it up by Friday, but Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, it's going to be packed traffic. It's going to impede traffic right there at that corner. And give it another day, somebody will be shot or a crime will be committed there. How do we know records show it? I'm not trying to say he can't be a liquor store owner, but how about be a liquor store owner in another community? How about his own? I don't know, maybe it's not zoned that way, but I'm just saying that we care about our community. We would like for our community to grow. Liquor does not allow anybody to grow. The only time I understand you consume liquor at a reasonable amount is during communion, and we're not taking communion 24/7. Not the right way. So I'm asking that you on the council, please hear the people of the Cooper Road, or Martin Luther King area, whichever one y'all like to be called. Please hear our voices and know that we do not, at any point in time, want another liquor store, or to want these licenses for this liquor store to be renewed. Thank you.
Ryan Pope.
My name is Ryan Polk. I'm the accountant. I'm an accountant and tax preparer. I help businesses in town open up, occupational licenses, COs, all that kind of stuff. I also help convenience stores open up and get whatever licenses they require, food stamps. I do anything that my job is to help a business open within the legal rules of the law. Okay, so I'm here we were told by the police department that the reason that they were denied on our latest application was because they feel that he is interposed for the previous owner. So my main thing that I'm here today is just to certify that he does not have anything to do with the previous owner. I've known him for he manages a liquor store up the road. So he's already in this community working. And so he wants to manage this one as well. And so, and I know I did some work for the guy for the previous guy. And I know that this man and the previous owner have never been in business, didn't even know each other at any point. And that's all I'm really here to certify.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
would you tell me your name again, sir?
Ryan Polk.
You are the accountant for the present applicant,
Yes.
and you're also the accountant for the prior operator of this business?
Yes.
Okay, so these two people have the same accountant?
Yes. Well, I have known the leaser, the person who owns the building, and because I do about 70 convenience stores across town.
You're a CPA?
Sir?
Are you a CPA?
No, sir.
But you're an accountant?
Yes.
Well, this is not a court and you're not under oath, but you are making representations to the council that are relevant to the decision that we're going to make. And so I want to understand what you're saying. You're saying, to your knowledge.
To my knowledge.
To your knowledge, the applicant who's been denied has no agreement or relationship with the prior operator, correct?
That is all I'm acknowledging here today.
But you're not in a position to say whether such a relationship does or does not exist, are you?
Correct. I cannot guarantee that that does not exist.
And all the council knows from your showing up here today is that these two folks, these two people, the prior person and the current applicant, have the same CPA, which is a fairly significant business connection between the two, in my opinion. Thank you.
When I get asked monthly by convenience stores that I do accounting for, saying, hey, I want to sell. Or, hey, I'm looking for a business. Can you find me a business? And so part of my job is to use, so whenever this happened and the leaser was like, I'm gonna lose everything I have in this store. Can you find somebody who knows liquor stores? Because he wanted somebody, he was specific. He wanted somebody who was, who knew convenience stores and would succeed.
I'm sorry, so the lessor, the owner of this location identified this individual to serve as the applicant and he then hired you. Is that what you just said?
No.
You didn't say the lessor brought this guy to you?
The property owner.
The property owner?
The property owner, oh God, I talked to so many people on it.
Is he the property owner?
No, he's the applicant, but.
He's the applicant.
But the account,
Property owner brought the accountant and the
Yeah.
property owner.
the same account.
Gotcha.
Okay. What part of town do you live in?
I live in Stonewall.
Okay, in Stonewall.
I used to live in South Shreveport.
Any liquor stores right next to your house?
No, and I don't drink. I want to make sure you understand. I don't.
Mine neither. Okay, thanks.
Councilwoman Taylor, Fuller, sorry.
It sounds like what you're demonstrating is a pipeline to maintain this building with the current use that is not desired by the residents. Like, regardless of how you spell out their relationships, your connection, your relationship to this property actually creates continuity for the undesired use.
That is.
So so regardless of their relationships and what your testimony is stating, all you're doing is further demonstrating the point that there's a pipeline to maintain a liquor store use in a property, and that's not what's desired by the neighbors.
That is for y'all to decide.
Then I'm expressing that.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, I think that's it.
Okay. Thank you.
Miss Orlissa Johnson. If I'm not mistaken, I think what's being expressed is that from everyone, with the exception of Mr. Pope that has spoken, is that they're against any liquor license or that store being open as a liquor store, correct? Okay.
Good evening. Orlissa Johnson, 1833 Christopher Glen, Martin Luther King area. As you said, Councilman Bowman, yes, we are against any liquor store being placed there. Speaking on behalf of my Martin Luther King neighborhood and my neighbors, no means no. We said no the first time, we saying no this time, anytime we saying no. These stores are built and ran in our neighborhoods. They target the low socio-economical neighborhoods to place them in. Like you say, he's not trying to put it in his neighborhood. Building or no building, take the building down, do something positive in our neighborhood is what we asking. You want to name it Sunny? Well, I say, let the sun shine in your neighborhood. Do not let the sun shine in ours. Thank you.
Thank you. Marvin Muhammad, and I did have some more here. They just wanted to be read into record. So, if Councilwoman Taylor, would you just like for me to read these names out, or okay? We have Brenda Crane, Esther Pouncey, Herbert Rogers, Adolphus French, Carol Hamilton, Carzette Coleman, Berta Jones, Precious Jones, Katie Davenport, Wilma Harris, Annie Ely, Dolores McCrae, Mary Harris, Sherry Smith, Christella Jackson, Katina Kizzy, Reverend Monroe Robertson, Bertha Russian, Donnie Doty, and Guy Hamilton. And all of those are in that particular area and neighborhood.
Mr. Vice Chair, also there's a lady who called Verda Howard, asked that her name would be added as well.
And I also thank Pastor Clyde Jones and Stephanie Rogers Jones.
Jones and Stephanie Rogers Jones, okay. What's your name? I'm sorry. Stephanie Rogers. I did, I think it was somebody else. Miss,
Can my name be added also?
Yes,
Or did it
ma'am.
have to be sent in prior to? Okay, it's Angela Roberson.
Say the last name?
Roberson, R-O-B as in boy, E-R-S-O-N.
Okay.
And we do have Miss Beatrice Bailey and Patrick Drew.
Is that Patrick in the audience?
Yes.
All right. And in the back.
Deborah Singster. I'm sorry, that's not Deborah.
Colleen Diaz.
Colleen Diaz.
There's another brother
In the back. Okay. I did want to extend to Ms. Needham. I didn't get a chance to say it earlier. I just wanted to send our condolences again to you and your family. You come to the mic.
Yes, ma'am. Stephanie Kalani.
I was asked, where's her email, was it
Yes.
received? Okay, thanks.
Stephanie Kalani. She is in the other family that was affected.
Okay. That's all I had. Was someone else here to speak? I didn't see another.
Do we have anyone else here to speak that your name was not called? Anyone else?
I did have one request to speak from Ashley, but this is not pertaining to this particular case. Ms. Ashley, I don't know if this is for tomorrow or this is for the specifics of the store over on Martin Luther King Drive.
If no one else is to speak, then we will now hear from Corporal Glass Bradley, followed by Mr. Awanda. If I pronounced that right.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
before we get started, can we do a couple things just procedurally?
Yes, ma'am.
If the individuals who will be speaking before the council would identify themselves first before we get started, and we'd ask that they be sworn in because their testimonies will be under oath in the event that there is some additional litigation that follows from
Yes,
here.
ma'am.
So I believe that would be Corporal Glass.
Yes.
As well as Mr. Odwin. Did I say that correctly? Is he here?
Yes.
If you guys would just state your name, your full name.
I'm Corporal Carlos Glass Bradley.
Okay.
Abdullah Awdal,
Would you mind spelling your name for me, please?
AVDALLAH. Last name AWAWDA.
Thank you. And if you guys could hold tight, I believe the council clerk was going to swear you in.
If you could please raise your right hand. I swear that the evidence that I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Odwin? Mr. Odwin?
You can raise your right hand. I swear that the evidence that I shall give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Yes, ma'am.
And before Corporal Bradley gets started, if I could just kind of redirect the council just to clarify why we're here and what the issue is. just for procedural and clarity in the event there is litigation that follows. I believe Corporal Bradley is going to present evidence to show that on November of last year, he received an application for Sonny's Liquor. More specifically, November 2nd of 2021, the ABO office received the alcohol beverage initial application for Sonny Liquor Store located at 1750 Martin Luther King, Shreveport, Louisiana, 71107. Following the submission of that application, Corporal Glass did go to do the inspection to determine if the applicant was in fact qualified. At that time, it was determined based on a number of communications that Corporal Glass received that there was a violation of Section 1044, particularly A10, A10A and A10C as it relates to interposing. At this time, I'll just kind of guide Corporal through a series of questions as it relates to that, and we'll go from there. So Corporal Bradley, if you could start off by telling us, just state your name for the record and your position at Shreveport Police Department.
I'm Corporal Glass Bradley. I am the agent over ABO, Alcohol Beverage Office.
And what do your duties entail there?
Over any business containing to alcohol beverages.
Okay. And how long have you been employed at that position?
Going on 3 years.
Okay. And so were you employed November of 2021?
Yes.
And were you employed subsequent to that?
Yes.
And has there been any interruption in your employment?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And can you tell me about an application you received as it relates to Sonny's Liquor on Martin Luther King Drive?
Yes. On the 2nd of November, I received the application for Sonny's Liquor. During that time, I was still processing other applications in reference to our office. Received a email asking the status of the application and when could I get to it. I replied, or I had the office reply saying they were missing pertinent information in their application, and could they send it back to me before I could come out and do a walkthrough of the business. So during this communication, about December 6th, made an agreement to come out there and inspect the location, go to the location.
Let me stop you right there, Corporal Glass. When you received the application, who were the owners listed on that application?
Abdallah Awada.
Abdallah Awad. Any other individuals listed on that document to show ownership as it relates to Sonny's Liquor on MLK?
No.
Okay. And when you said you received communication, who did you receive that communication from?
Mike Hassan.
Okay. And who or was Mike Hassan's name listed in any way on that application?
No.
Okay. So you made an appearance on, I believe, December 6th. Is that what you said?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Tell me what happened on December 6th.
Made an appearance on December 6th to meet with Mike Hassan, thinking he was the property owner or the business owner. Once I got there, I noticed that alcohol was already stocked in the coolers and storage room, and there were no surveillance cameras, which is required by ordinance. So I stated to him that he could be cited for those violations, and that's when he advised me that he was not the business owner, he was the property owner.
He was the property owner?
Yes.
And did you cite him at that time?
No.
And why did you not cite him?
Because he was not the business owner. He told me he was the property owner once.
And so Mr. Hassan was not part of the application process?
He's the one I've been in contact with from the emails and turning in missing documents from the application.
But he told you at that time that he was not the business owner?
No, he said he was the property owner.
Okay. All right, and so what did you do next?
So I explained to him that would be interposed. I can't talk to you. I need to make contact with the business owner or the applicant before I can continue the inspection and go on with the process. But I was never reached out by the applicant until maybe on January 4th, Mike called again saying that he had fixed everything and now he was ready for inspection.
So let me just clarify. You advised Mike Hassan that he could not engage in this process with you because he was not the applicant, is that correct?
Yes.
And you advised him what interposing was and what,
No, I told him that was interposing. I didn't advise him what
Would you
that entailed. But I
shared with
said-
him that he was not to be part of this process?
Yes.
But instead, he returned and called you again?
Yes.
Okay, and he told you that he had corrected the problems you identified to him prior, which was the
Yes.
alcohol?
He
in
said
the-
there was no alcohol in the building and it had security cameras now.
And tell me the significance of the alcohol being in the building or not, and the cameras.
Alcohol being present or stored at a location without a permit is a violation of city ordinance.
And then the camera, why was that important?
Because that would be cause for a denial.
Okay.
Can't approve an application to a liquor store that doesn't have surveillance. That's put in the city ordinance.
So you said Mr. Hassan contacted you a second time. What happened?
Yes, I advised him over the phone that I couldn't talk to him about that business since he's nowhere listed on the business as a owner or on the application. And then that's when Mr. Awada called.
Okay. So Mr. Awad called you. What happened then?
He called and let me know that the business was ready for inspection.
And this was the same day?
Yes, probably like 15 minutes later.
And so did you go and inspect the building at that time?
No, I began to do my investigation on who the actual owner and who was actually behind the business.
Okay. And what did you find out?
So while doing my investigation, I found out that Mike was not the property owner and he was not the business owner. He's the brother of the property owner. So during my investigation, I discovered that Sonny supposedly is Mike's and the property owner's other brother, who originally went to the Secretary of State to get in the MPC to get the zoning and all those things done for the LLC, and then they sold it to Awada to pursue to getting the liquor license.
And do you have any documents to support any of that investigation that you did?
Yes, I have the Secretary of State. I also have the minutes from when it was transferred over to Mr. Awada.
Okay, and do you have a packet prepared to submit into evidence for the council? Do you have documents?
Yes.
Okay. And so at this time, we'd like to submit into evidence the documents that resulted from the investigation as it relates to Secretary of State and the changing of ownership for Sonny's Liquor. All right, Corporal Glass, what else did you find out?
So once I found out Mike was not the property owner or the applicant, I made contact with Mr. Awada at the location, and that's when I asked him who he was to, or what the relationship was to him. And that's when Mr. Awada advised that Sonny and Mike were brothers of the property owner.
So this, do you know the date of that interaction?
January 7th at 1600 hours.
So this application that was filed in November, it was not until January that you actually made contact with the applicant?
Yes.
Okay. All right, and what happened after that?
I advised him that it would be denial based on suspicion of interposing.
Okay, and what was his response to that, if any?
He asked what the process would be. I explained to him about appeal, and as I returned to the office, Mike called the office once again asking how to proceed.
Okay. Is there anything else as it relates to your investigation of the application for the Sonny's Liquor in the MLK, on MLK?
I think that's it. Unless
Just
y'all have
one
any
last question.
questions.
This particular location is within the city limits of Shreveport?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Did any of the council members have any questions for us?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Corporal, I want to make sure I understand what you're saying. When you talk to Mr. Mike, what is his last name?
It's Mike Hassan. His real name is Muhammad Hassan.
When you talked to Mr. Hassan, he lied to you about who he was and his relationship to the business?
Yes, he said he was the property owner.
And when you, which was not true,
No.
and when you showed up to do your initial inspection of this property, they were selling alcohol without a license?
No, they had it stored on premise. It was out for sale, but
What was it was it out on the shelves?
Yes.
Okay. So I know they didn't sell it to you, but it appeared to you that they had the intention of selling it. It was available to be picked up by a customer and brought to the counter.
Yes.
And then they didn't have the security cameras that this council has required liquor stores to have for public safety?
Yes, he said they were stolen.
Well, we'll get to the conclusion of this proceeding, but I will say that what you're describing sounds like something worthy of criminal prosecution to me. This is a location where 2 people have been murdered, and it appears to me that people associated with this property are intent on flouting the will of this council and on deceiving us into allowing them to sell liquor there, and there's just no excuse at all for it. Thank you.
Chairman,
Yes.
in the documentation that you provided, was there a sales price for the business? Was there any exchange of money?
I would have to pull the minutes back that I just gave to Ms. Bogan. Almost there. Yes. It just states that the Muhammad Salon be allowed to transfer 100% of stock to a corporation to Abdallah Awada. Yes.
But there was no dollar amount associated with it?
No, it was just a transfer.
Thank you.
We still didn't stay on.
All right. We have no further evidence at this time. We will reserve rebuttal. Clerk Blas. You can have a seat.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Mr. Awad, if you would like to present to the council.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you file this appeal, Mr. Awad?
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Did you file this appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and where did you file the appeal?
With the father bill.
I didn't hear you.
I'm sorry, say again the bill, what to who?
Where did you file the appeal?
Oh.
Where did you file the appeal?
Where did you go to file it? Did you mail it or did you fax it? or-
No, I mailed it. I faxed it, I mean.
Okay. And can you do me a favor and spell your first name for me one more time?
ABDALLAH.
Okay. So ABDALLA would be an incorrect spelling of your name?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. At any point, did you file an application for Sonny's Liquor?
I buy the corporation from Sonny, you know.
Okay. And how do you know Mr. Sonny?
The Sonny?
Mhm.
Because I heard about you what I said. I said, I heard about it. Apart from the Ryan.
And how many liquor stores do you own, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't own any liquor store.
You don't own any?
I'm a manager for liquor store. I'm manager in liquor store.
So you manage liquor stores?
Yeah, I manage a liquor store, but I try to lease that one, you know.
Okay, so this would have been your first
Yes,
application for a
yes,
permit?
ma'am.
Okay. And when you put in that permit, did you at any point contact Shreveport Police to have them come and inspect?
I contact this man here, you know.
And do you recall when you made that contact?
I called him one time, you know.
Okay. Do you know Mike Hassan?
Mike Hassan, I know his brother. I want to lease the store from him.
So you were leasing a store from him? He's the
from
brother?
From brother, yeah.
He's the brother of the person who leased the store for you?
Mhm.
And so was he part of your application? Was he part of your business? Was he going to be a business partner?
No,
Okay. And do you know why he would contact SPD on your behalf?
because to be honest with you, you see my language, you know. He tried to help me.
So he was
Yes.
helping you?
Yeah.
Okay. So when did you, I guess, purchase from Sonny the company or the business?
When?
Mhm.
Well, I don't know exactly what date, you know, but it's been like almost 6 months, something like this, you know.
Okay. And so you were going through the process of, did you make the corrections to the business, or did Mike do that for you?
What I mean,
So there was liquor on the premises when the police officer came. Did you remove the liquor, or did Mike remove it?
I moved the liquor, you know, is empty, you know.
Okay. And then the cameras, did you install those cameras, or did Mike install those
Yeah,
cameras?
I still come with me.
I'm sorry?
Me, I call somebody and somebody can fix it, you know.
Okay. And so I guess the basis of your appeal, could you explain that to the council? Like, why are you appealing this matter?
Why?
Mhm.
I didn't try to open, you know, try to lease the business, you know.
Do you understand why your application was denied?
Last time from him,
Yes. Do you
Yes,
understand? Okay. Can you explain why your application was denied?
because he leave missing, when I take the alcohol, he missing some couple of bottles, you know, stuff like this, you know, in the shelf.
Okay. Actually, your license was denied because there was someone acting as you, or acting in place of
Yeah,
you.
about Muhammad, because he's of our state, he's come and meet him, you know.
Mhm. And so you acknowledge that Mike was acting to get this license for you?
Hmm.
He was not? Did you not just state that Mike was assisting you in getting this application?
Yeah, it's fine.
So he was working on your behalf to get this application?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. Does any of the council member have any questions?
Mr. Hassan, how you doing? In earlier testimony, it was stated that Mr. Sonny was trying to be, I guess, quote unquote, rescued from the business. If you don't mind stating, how much did you purchase the business from, Mr. Sonny?
This is the deal. When he got everything approved, I pay him, you know. If he not go through the license and everything, I'm not purchasing the store.
So you haven't paid him anything yet?
No, not yet.
But he sold the business to you with no money?
If I get the license and everything, I pay him. If I can't get the license, I'm not paying him nothing.
Okay.
Councilman Nichols.
Sir, you were present for the police officer's testimony regarding his visit to the liquor store we're talking about? You were here?
No.
Yes, you were. I mean, you were here today when the corporal over your left shoulder gave testimony, correct? Were you in the room when that happened?
Uh-huh.
Yes?
Yes.
Did you hear him testify under oath that when he arrived at the business, there was alcohol on the shelves for sale? Did you hear him say that?
I hear him, but to be honest with you, I sent my nephew to clean everything. He missing a couple of bottles and stuff like this, you know.
Did you also hear his testimony that at the time that alcohol was on the shelf for sale, there were no security cameras at that business? Did you hear that testimony?
I heard.
Was that also true? Yes? Say yes, please, if that's your answer.
Yes, sir.
And at the time the corporal visited that store, you were operating that store? Correct?
Yes.
So at that time, you had on the shelves of a store you were operating alcohol for sale, and you had no license to sell alcohol, correct? Hey, sir, I'm not talking to you. I'm asking him questions. So you're under oath, and I want to understand your testimony. Okay? At the time he visited this store, there was alcohol on the shelf, and you've told us yes. You've also told us that there were no security cameras, and you finally told us you had no license to sell alcohol. All true?
Yeah, but the store closed. He see him when the store closed. I gave the keys. I opened it for him. You know.
Thank you.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
you said you installed cameras?
Somebody still at the camera. You know?
No, I'm saying but you all had cameras in there.
Yeah, you have camera now.
So are you stating that somebody broke in your store and stole the cameras?
Broke the store, nobody stopped.
How did they steal the cameras?
This back in the day, long time ago. Not for me. After I start to application, I do the camera. You know.
Okay. Councilman Tate.
Corporal Bradley,
Yes, ma'am.
who's the owner of the property?
The owner of the property is Saheed Hassan.
This is the lessor?
Yes.
And so no, liquor was still in the store from Right Way, I guess.
Yes.
Never removed.
No.
Cameras were installed, correct, sir? You said?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you file a police report that they were stolen? So they stole the cameras and not the liquor?
They sell liquor too, you know, but it used to be have a lot of inventory. Now it doesn't have nothing. You know.
At what particular point did they take your cameras? Because you applied, this license was applied for in November, correct? So when did you have the cameras installed?
Sir, would you come up to the mic so we can hear you?
I have the camera before he's coming. After he's coming, I call somebody to get the camera, different kind of camera, you know, not the old camera. The one of them is before I get some. We're still in the liquor, still in the camera too.
So I think that at this particular point, we've probably heard enough of the testimony to go and uphold the decision of Corporal Bradley and not granting this license. It's pretty much my statement on this. What it is what I see. It's a disservice to the MLK community. At this time, they have overwhelmingly articulated that they do not want liquor stores in this area. But what's more alarming is this little cycle of what is happening with the transferring of the store, with people misrepresenting themselves in order to come into our community to sell liquor. It is obvious that no one in this particular organization understands or cares about what this community says that they want. You will run any type of game to do what you can to go over here and supply liquor into our community, and the supply does not even meet the demand. It would be my opinion, or my suggestion at this time, not even my opinion, but my suggestion at this point, that we uphold that denial for this. And I would ask again that you all pursue this even further, because if we still had alcohol in that store, then we need to see what we can pursue on a criminal basis.
Thank you. Anything else?
Yeah.
I was just going to ask if Mr. Awad this was his appeal to the city council, if he had any other information he wanted to present to the council at this time. Is there anything else you wanted to present to the
No,
council?
Thank you.
I had a question though.
Yes,
Does anybody know why the liquor was still in the store? Is it a statement? I didn't hear why the liquor was still in the store after Mr. Bradley came.
I mean, that's a good question. Was there any reason given for why the inventory did
Well,
not leave?
when I went out there to inspect the store, I asked Mike, I said, whoa, why is there liquor in this store? He said the previous owner didn't return it all back to the wholesaler, or they didn't take all of it back. So it had just been sitting in there, I'm presuming, since it been closed.
Never know. On the wholesale, not the one that's on the store.
Did he
the store
say at
look like it
any
was
time
open
to
or
you
closed?
that
It
they
was
s-
closed.
that
They're
they-
supposed to send it back to the distributor.
Did he say anything about them stealing the camera and a few bottles of liquor?
Yes, he said they stole liquor and then they took the camera system.
But it wasn't reported.
I'm not sure. I think it may have been. I'm not sure. I think it may have been. I remember seeing a thing about a burglary or something at that location.
Okay, thank you.
And Corporal Glass, just for clarification, what is your recommendation to the city council as it relates to this matter?
I recommend that it is interposing. I made contact with the applicant one time during this whole process, and everything has been done by a third party that's not the property owner nor the applicant.
All right, thank you. At this time, I'd like a motion that this special meeting be closed.
We have to vote.
Oh, we're gonna vote?
Yeah.
Councilwoman
I
Taylor
thought we
needs a
voted
second to
tomorrow.
her motion.
There was a motion on the floor, with no
Yes.
second.
Ma'am?
I need a second.
We vote today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so to do the denial, which way do we vote? Yes or no?
The recommendation is that the decision of the SPD as it relates to the application be denied. And so if you vote in the affirmative, you're upholding that decision. If you vote in the negative, you will be not upholding that decision.
I'm sorry.
So move in the affirmative.
Let me call it back. We're voting to affirm the decision of the SPD.
Yes,
So a yes vote affirms,
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
The SBD is denial.
which results in denial. All right.
Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second?
Moved by Councilman Taylor, second by Councilwoman Fuller. All in favor, let's vote.
Motion carries with 6.
Thank you. Just before we done. Just before we adjourn, I'd like that we would just do a special prayer for Tanya. Her grandmama passed. Was it today or yesterday, Tanya?
Today.
Today. And I
I'm
just
sorry.
ask that we would, Councilwoman Taylor, would you offer a prayer for Tanya and her family?
Merciful Father, is that we come again to you before your throne, asking for comfort for Tanya and her family. There are no words that we can echo at this particular point in time that will soothe or ease that pain. But what we do know is that you are a comforter. What we do know is that we can lend our arms and our love and our support to Tanya and her family to help her through this process, along with all of those that loved her grandmother. So I would ask right now that all of the cares that she has, all of the cares that her family may have, that you would find a way to restore some level of peace in their life. And each and every day, I ask that you would grant her and all of those that loved her grandmother the strength to make it through each day. There is no time limit on when someone loses someone that they love for grief. And so I'm asking you right now that each day that you would provide her with a pillar of hope, comfort, love, and continuous support. This we ask in your son Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. If there are no other business to come before this council, call for adjournment.